Hello everyone, my name is Raevin PALACIO and I am here to demo my program on how to make an exponent calculator using socket programming. So let's start. So now we're gonna open our Java Eclipse or Eclipse compiler. So we'll start in the server side. So here we import our java.out.color or .out.all.io to input or output the stream, java.net util.all, and javax.swing for our GUI. So first we create a class server which extends JFrame. In here our components declaration. So next is we have our constructor. So this we will call this later if in the main method. So we create a GUI and we instantiate the thread into starter. So we create a new thread. So here our function for the calculation of exponent. So our method for creating GUI. So here is we have our another class which is the server start, and it implements runnable. So if we call the server start, it will create a new array list, the client output streams and the users, which will later on will be added. So here we try to create our server socket, which is the 1050 or 1450. So while it is true, the socket will always accept new clients. So if we do not have this loop, the server will run in one way or accept one client only. So this is the importance of our server start class. So our user add will add data into our array list if a new user will join. So tell everyone if there is an action in user, so it will tell everyone. So it's iterator. So while it has next line, so its print writer will print as the message. And then the client handler. So if there are new clients, this is the class that will cater them. So buffer reader and socket and the print writer is the client. So client equals user. Here we have our public client handler constructor. Here we have two parameters, which is the client socket or socket and the print writer, which has a variable user. So client print writer here is equal to user. So in every client it will create a new socket or input stream. So if this will fail, a text will appear or append in the display events in our server, which is the unexpected error. So under our client handler class, we have our void run method, which will get the values of our clients will send. So there are string, the message, the connect, which equals to connect, and calculate equal to calculate. So message equals reader the thread line. If the message is not null, so the data will be split using the colon. So here our data that has been splitted will be stored in an array. So data 0 or data in index 0 will be the first value inside our in our message. So data 1, the message, and the calculate, which is equal to this. So if data 2 equals connect, so it will tell everyone that that this client is connected. So here, if the last index, which is the data index 2, equal to calculate, so it will split the data in data index 1, which is our base and exponent, and parted by hashtag or sharp. So it will get our base number or input and store it in the input index 0 and input index 1 for exponent. So it will call the calculate exponent, our method for calculating our power. So our parameters, the base and exponent. So it will give the answer in our server, which was inputs in our client. So it will process here in the calculate exponent in the server. So here, after this, it will display or append in the text area in our server, and it will also tell everyone or in all the clients. So here in our main args or main static void main, we have our invoke later, so that our thread will run and will not error. So here we have our public void run, and we call our server constructor. So here our client side, we import, and this our declarations of components and other stuff, sockets, buffer readers. So listen thread to listen if there is an incoming message from server. User add, it will add usernames in an array list. So our constructor client, if this will be called later in our void main, so first it will create an input dialog, and it will get our username input. So if the client is empty, so it will be unknown. This is our generator for numbers, random generator. So after that, we create GUI, which is a constructor, parameter 1 string, the client name, which will be the name of our frame or G frame. So after that is connect, which will later on I will see you. So we created a class incoming reader. So here in incoming reader, we call this incoming reader in listen thread, which will be called later on in creating our new client. So this is our incoming reader, implements runnable. So here, like same in the server side, there is also like this, the calculate. So it will append, it will get the input stream and output. So in the connect here, so if the boolean is connected equals false, so it will try to create socket address, which is the localhost here in our declaration or initializations of our variables. So port 3050, which will be the key to connect in our server. So if this is wrong, if our server is 1050 and we use another port here, so our client will not connect to our server. So here we create new input stream reader to read the inputs from our client. So here we print our username. After that, we flash the writer. So error will display in the text area, cannot connect. So here we call our listen thread, so that we can have our thread for our clients to create our multiple clients. So here our GUI creation, clear text boxes, and lastly is the void main or string args, which has also an invoke later from java.out.event queue, so that our multi-threading is successful. So here we call our new client or the constructor client, so that it will run. So for test, first we run our server. So here, our text area. So if we start our server, it will say server online. So in the real world scenario, the server will not add clients, but the clients will only connect to server. So here, our client will run our client. So so our username is Raevin. Okay, so our gframe name is Raevin also. So here, client 1 has been added. So let's try. We have base as 3 as base, and exponent 2. So we'll calculate this. So here, it will append the inputs created by the client. So 3 to the power of 2 is 9. So here also, for the history of, so here 3 to the power of 2 is 9. So if we create another client, so here for the palace, so here client 2 has been added. So here, let's try 2 as base and 4 as exponent. So let's calculate. So here it is displayed 2 to the power of 4 is 16. So here also, so here it also displayed 2 to the power of 4 is 16, which was calculated from dark palace window. So again, 5 raised to 2. So calculate. It will append here and also here, and also to our server. So that's all. I hope that you get the idea of how did I create my exponent calculator in socket programming. So thank you and God bless.